I want to speak about an unfortunate set of circumstances that happened and took place out there on the Vegas Strip Sunday in front of everyone, in which a Latino Tether YouTuber by the name of Sin City Manny took the life of our brother, Finny the Legend, and his wife Bubbly in the middle of their live stream out there in front of everyone. You could see, they were having fun just moments before this whole event happened. It took place. They were out there dancing with a smile on their face and joy in their heart, having a good old time, until this anti-black Latino tether comes up in the mix and, unalives, both our brother and sister, which is a bunch of nonsense. And why I'm calling this Sin City Manny anti-black Latino tether is because upon me doing my homework, research, and due diligence, I found several videos of him throwing around that N-word like it was going out of style, and this is typically what we see coming from these anti-black Latino tethers, them taking up an anti-black stance on things in hopes of aligning themselves with the dominant white society, which is a bunch of nonsense. And there's also video footage of this Sin City Manny mocking and making fun of the homeless, which is a bunch of nonsense. Now, the events, that all led up to this were ongoing. They had an ongoing beef because, from what I gather upon me doing my homework, Sin City Manny, must have pepper sprayed our brother, Finny the Legend's wife, Bubbly, and since then they had an ongoing internet back and forth where they was getting each other's YouTubes taken down and flagged, and this shows you how, when you're doing things on this internet for click, likes, and views, they can sometimes spill over into the real world. They have real world consequences behind them, but this Sin City Manny anti-black Latino tether has since turned himself into police custody because, this was premeditated. There's videos of him, riding around looking for our brother Finny the Legend and his wife just before this whole thing happened. And there's videos of him saying he was going to unalive our brother at a red light, this, that, and the other, which is a bunch of nonsense. So ain't no way of getting out for him to get out of this, So, hopefully he gets everything he got's coming to him and gets the book thrown at him on this one because this was a bunch of nonsense, our brother was out there just having, fun with his wife, enjoying life, and then this nonsense happened and take place, and on the live stream video, our sister Bubbly, she had to watch our brother get his life stolen and ripped from him, by this Latino tether. So you can see uh, the face of shock and fear on her, and her running to go retrieve her phone and stop it from recording. And then, this Latino tether had the nerve to go and the audacity to shoot our sister twice in the back, So this is a bunch of nonsense. And, the news reports is saying that he may have done this because he didn't want people infringing upon, the the YouTube space out there in Las Vegas. He thought he owned that, and controlled that, and he ain't want nobody infringing upon what he viewed to be his space and his circle, which is a bunch of nonsense. And what the news media outlets ain't putting out, on the other hand, is I think they need to look at this case. Could this have, anti-black racism written all over it? Could it have a racial component? Because I believe this case, does got a racial component. I believe this anti-black Latino tether, man, Sin City Manny done this because our brother was black. So I got the audio and the video of this nonsense, and we're gonna walk through and talk about it how we normally do, family. Fair use.
Depending on how long they've been here and how much they read or watch the news, they might not even realize what happened here just hours ago, Marie. And this is something you mentioned, the world watching this. Well, this all began allegedly on the World Wide Web. In fact, usually arguments on social media, they stay behind the screen. But on Sunday night, that was not the case, we're being told. YouTubers and social media personalities have been posting that the alleged shooter and one of the victims, that they were YouTubers who had an ongoing beef.
YouTube and social media in general can be a good place if you're trying to market and get around like-minded people. But if you come on social media looking for the nonsense, it'll find you. This is why, truth be told, I don't even be on the internet looking for nonsense and beef, but on the other hand, I'm still a man. And if, somebody comes at me wrong and not right and exact, I'm going to always defend my honor, truth be told. But let's continue.
News 3's Tiffany Lane has been digging into posts to see what may have led up to this deadly incident.
Latoya, the shooting was seen on live stream. Both the alleged shooter and victim each had a couple thousand followers on YouTube, many of which were watching their live streams when this shooting happened, they tell me. And from what some of them say, the issues between the two go back for quite some time now.
And I believe this news media outlet ain't gonna say it, family, but that anti-black Latino tether by the name of Sin City Manny has been charged with 2 counts of open murder. And I don't know exactly what that means, but that's what he's being charged with, 2 counts of open murder. But let's continue.
They never expected it would get to this. As the deadly shooting unfolded on the Strip, YouTubers and other social media personalities started streaming. They say many.
You can see the sheer look of fright and terror inside his wife's eyes, her having to, sit there and see her husband get his life tragically and unfortunately stolen and ripped from him, all by the hands of a anti-black Latino Tether, which is a bunch of nonsense.
Ruiz, known on YouTube with his wife as Sin City Family, and YouTuber Finny the Legend had an ongoing beef.
Let me put it that way. I see bullying on both sides. Because I don't think people just came out of the blue and started being bullies. I think something had to happen to cause that to happen.
Finny the Legend's channel is still online, showing many videos about Manny and his wife, Julie. Finny often in hours-long live streams, sometimes sharing Manny's videos and reacting to comments made against him or responding to Manny. Manny's page taken down as of Monday morning, but some sites sharing clips, including this one from last year.
He recorded a live stream where Manny said that he's basically going to come after Finny. So let's have a look at that quickly.
It's just best to stay away from internet beast, family. If you're on the internet, content creator, just come on here and do your business. Try to reach like-minded people, inspire, and put out, information, informative videos for people. Because if you come on the internet, looking for trouble, sadly and unfortunately, you're going to find it. And some people, you never know what the next man is willing to do, because some people never had no clout or no recognition in their lifetime. So this little bit of, thing, likes and views they get on the internet, if that stops coming in for them, they might be willing to crash all the way out, sadly and unfortunately, truth be told.
That same YouTube page called LFP Gaming showed a clip of Manny searching for Finny before Sunday's shooting when Finny came to town with his wife.
I'm out here searching for my baby. I went through every casino there is.
His whole aura and watching this anti-black Latino Tether, Sin City Manny, reeks of him having a whole anti-black disposition about himself. So I think they need to look at this thing from the angle of it having a racialized component to it, because I believe it had a racialized component to it, and he done it because our brother was black as well. But let's continue.
I heard there's one of my biggest fans here.
Manny can be seen in several videos wearing face paint. I spoke with one YouTube fan who follows Manny and Finny closely. He says the beef goes back to fans finding out that Manny is trying to control streaming in the Vegas area.
He is, demanding, you can't go here, you can't do that. And a lot of people don't like that, so he started losing his streamers.
Daniel, who did not want his face shown, said the online feud that included Finny insulting Manny's wife and Manny using racial slurs only got worse.
See, Manny was using racial slurs, and he was using the N-word with the hard ER, so this thing needed to be looked at as having a racialized component to it.
Worse through time.
The followers that were normally with Manny are now giving money to Finny.
So then that kind of started this back and forth feud on streaming.
Yeah, that made it worse, for Manny. And then Finny would post, look at how many viewers he's got now, or his viewership was going down.
And again, this is all information we're getting through the YouTube world. We are working to get more details from police in the meantime, as well as confirming some of the information we were provided from these social media influencers. Latoya?
Yeah, it really does give you an insight into a world that
sad set of unfortunate circumstances, and hopefully this Latino Tether, Sin City Manny, get everything he deserved, plus more, and I want to say R.I.P to our brother, Finny the Legend, and his wife, Bubbly. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.